So in my fourth game in the rec, I had a rude introduction as to how bad things can get when you're playing with randoms. We were down by 25 points in the half. Our opponents were flopping. This guy was cooking us. He scored 23 points. And what made it worse is that we only scored 22 points in the half. But don't worry, man. We got it together on offense and on defense, and that put us in a position to win this ball game. And it was down to the last possession. Down by 1, 5 seconds left, the ball in my hand, the stuff that you dream about as a kid. 3.4 seconds left, I got the right side of the floor open, and you won't believe what happens next. And I think this was my 4th or 5th game in the rec, and these are my averages at that point so far. Really had fun shooting the ball with this build. And if you're interested how this build cooks, I'll link that video in the description below. But let's get started. And how I like to start my rec games is to keep other players involved. You know, the overall hope is that they see that I'm not selfish with the ball. I gain their trust. Therefore, they put the ball in my hands to help the team win and make the right decisions. And as you can see here, we're just passing the ball around. Good ball movement. We're up 5-2 easy. And while this build is not a pass-first playmaking build, we still make the right plays to put us in an early position to be up by 8-4. But then our opponents make a 7-0 run, and I start here by trying to create some offense for our big man, who unfortunately is not very good at finishing around the basket. So I take it to the rim myself, and what do you know, I finish with a cool layup, so we're down 11-10. And this is where it all starts to fall apart. You know, he had a decent start, but people started to make some uncharacteristic decisions, forcing the offense, leading to some bad transition defense. And this guy right here, number 66, who has sharp take, took over the game, basically knocking us out. And at certain points in the game, you got guys that just really want to score the ball and act a fool on offense, leading to some bad decisions right here. So what I do is try to space the floor for my teammates. We get an offensive rebound right here. Number 35 has been crashing into me, I've noticed, so I decide to give him the ball, see what he wants to do on offense, try to space the floor out. Makes a good decision right there, but our center unfortunately can't finish inside. And at this point, man, number 66 continued to cook us, hit us with a Jamal Murray combo, which, you know, if you're familiar with the rec right now, that's one of the best moves in the game. And remember what I said in my previous Chef Cruz video, the ball finds energy. If you give the ball up, as long as you present yourself wide open, you will get the space you need to hit easy shots. People try to overcomplicate things in the rec, and unfortunately at this stage right here, we're playing bad defense. We're down 10 to end the first quarter, and it's not looking good. We're disconnected on defense. Our offense is a little bit scattered. And what typically happens in a game of rec when you get down big, people start to force things a little bit too much, act uncharacteristically, become a little bit too selfish, thinking that it might be their time to score without pressure since we're down big anyway. But what tends to happen is that it snowballs from one bad decision to another. My teammates are not properly spacing the floor for me, but when they do, as you can see, it's just me making the right read and the right play. But unfortunately, a lot of my teammates aren't of the same mentality. Again, number 66 was having himself a half. He was cooking us left and right. And the rec doesn't have to be difficult, man. Even though I show you the extensive bag, sometimes a simple escape dribble into an attack crossover or a momentum cross is all you need. You don't have to be doing the excessive stuff. But unfortunately, people like to get into the rec and try and think that they're playing my career or my player, when in fact it's a team game, and that your individual success can only do so much for your team. And all half long, my teammates were forcing shots that they shouldn't be taking, passing when they shouldn't be, and not passing when they should. And as a result, we're down 25 points to end the half. And this guy right here decided he wanted to flop. The game's almost over, right? Well, stay tuned. But the embarrassing thing is that this guy right here, number 66, our opponent scored 23 points when he scored 22 points. And what's even more embarrassing is that their field goal percentage on both 2s and 3s is 80%. So that's a disgusting ratio. Bad defense, bad offense, but we start the half a little bit more composed. People settling into their roles within the game, trying to learn each other out, spacing the floor. And as you can see, we go into a simple 6-0 run, just playing the right way and making those quick decisions and quick passes. And that good offense translated into good defense, forced a bad shot from our opponent right there. Unfortunately, they get the offensive rebound, but here you go. Playing with that big lead, people now think they're Superman and they start to front run, taking all sorts of bad shots. And as a result, we got an 8-0 run to start the half. And there's nothing better to motivate good defense than by playing great offense, sharing the rock, and scoring efficiently. So now from down 25, we're only down 15 right here. I try to space the floor. Unfortunately, my teammate runs into me instead of spacing the floor for me, but as a good teammate, what I do, I space the floor for him so it gives him an opportunity to score. This is an example of a bad teammate in the wreck right here. What I do for my teammate is to try and space the floor by going to the corner. That is an outlet for him. Now, he should be going to space the floor for me by going to the middle, but instead, he runs towards me to bring not only my defender to me, but his defender to me as well. So I have to give the ball up. And instead of just staying there, having two defenders on one and causing traffic, I spaced the floor for him, something he wasn't willing to do for me. And as a result of that spacing, that simple gesture of being a good teammate, I got him an open shot. And man, when you're making a run, and we were already trying to establish our rhythm, nothing kills it worse than people taking bad defensive gambles. Take a look at my teammate right here in the corner. He's guarding 66, right? 66 cooked us all first half. But what does he do? He tries and make these dumb gambles on defense. Setting up this play right here, 66 spaces the floor towards the right wing. 50 recognizes 66 is open because his defender got stuck in a defensive animation. The two defenders in the corner panicked and leaving that guy in the corner wide open as a result. And those are run killers, man. You have to stay disciplined on defense. And what I try to do for my teammates is attack the paint, create that confusion, force the defense to collapse, and because I pushed the paint, got a paint touch, kicked it out, we got an easy dunk as a result. And this is an example of people would take over thinking that all of a sudden they turn into Superman when instead they force up stupid shots and make dumb decisions. What does this guy do right here? He has takeover, right? He forces the ball all the way into the corner into those three defenders when I was wide open by spacing the floor properly at the top of the key, and that is a knockdown shot. He takes a stupid step back jumper, which is honestly frustrating, man. And I'm not having the most highlight worthy of games, but what I am doing is playing the right way and helping my teammates out, whether it's through creating paint touches or, as you can see right there, being in position to properly help and contest. And I attack the paint right here, but that is a good read by the defense to block that shot. But every basketball decision is the right one, and I'm making the right reads to help my teammates win. In fact, I'm not selfish right here. I recognize that this guy has take, so he wanted to set a screen. He made a good read for a pop, and now we're only down by 11. And once again, this is me being a good teammate, recognizing that this guy has been cooking us all game, so I have to blitz him because his defender fell asleep on that nice V cut. I'm not too concerned with my man number 7 right there shooting that three-pointer because he has a 37% three-point rating. And you know what? We made the right read right there. Good defense into good offense. Now we're only down 9 entering the fourth quarter. Again, I get a paint touch. Easy 2 points, man. So as you can see, I'm making the right basketball reads, simple plays to get us back into the game, and my goodness, man. Number 35, for whatever reason, blitz number 7, who is my man, and when I switched off onto his defender, he decides to leave number 7. Take note of that sequence right there. That's going to be important. And as you can see, once again, simple basketball plays. Transition secondary break, just easy pass it to the pull-up. And now I got takeover, and now I'm getting paint touches and always constantly trying to space the floor. I recognize that there are two guys always glued to me because I have sharp take, and I do the right thing by spacing the floor, but instead 35 decides he wants to invade my space. Doesn't matter, he makes a good pass to the corner and his defender was sagging off, but I'm not a fan of how my teammates are spacing the floor for me when I'm doing the right thing by spacing the floor for them. It's all about making sure that you're doing right by your teammates as well to put them in a position to score, and more importantly, to put your team in a position to win. So again, another defensive stop. We tried to push the floor right there, and that was just a bad decision to go up with it. Luckily, we got the ball back. Number 66 has decided he wanted to key on me because I was the catalyst for our offense. Probably should have shot a pull-up jumper right there. Now, I don't panic in this situation. Simple right stick, left stick cross, easy layup. Now we're only down by 4 with 2.5 minutes left. And once again, man, my teammates are killing me here. I attack this closeout. I should have an easy pull-up jumper, but my teammate once again runs into me, bringing his defender to help on me, preventing me from taking that shot. But as you can see, just by spacing the floor and being a good teammate, that sharp takeover acting as a decoy, my teammate got a wide open 3, and now we're only down by 1. And here I make a great defensive read, go under the screen and contest at the right time, run the floor, run the lane, fill the lanes perfectly, space the floor knowing that the ball will find me if I'm wide open, and then bam, we're now up 2 after being down by as much as 25 points, and our opponents have only scored 7 points in the half. And I knew this possession was big. Another great defensive stop right here. If we get a bucket, we basically win the game. For whatever reason, our center decides to shoot a 3-point shot with his slow-ass jump shot, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe he took that shot when we were doing great in terms of just being patient with the offense and taking the right shots, and I couldn't believe we gave up an even easier backdoor cut. So I review the footage right here. Once again, this guy decides he wanted to give a high five to Casper the Friendly Ghost, entering to that stock steal animation and into a backdoor cut, and now it's tied up. And here my teammates stack a couple of screens. This was going to be a pick and fade, and the great defensive read right there by this guy who fouled me, because that would have been a wide open 3 to potentially seal the game. Here I start the sideline out of bounds in the corner to space the floor because my teammates were positioned to get the ball there, but I wanted to go into the middle to set our offense up. Instead, they make this pass to the corner. He runs into traffic, so I'm there to bail him out, and he decides to barf up this weird shot with 8 seconds left on the clock and more time remaining for us. But for whatever reason, my teammate decided he wanted to shoot that shot. This was just a good offensive play right there. I was in position to help, but I don't have the stats to even contest that shot. And at this stage of the game, man, I wanted the ball. I wanted the ball to set up our offense, not necessarily to score, but to put our teammates in a proper position. And this is exactly what I do right here. I attack the paint, give it to my center, and finally, number 35 makes a good read, spaces the floor well, runs to the rim, and that was an excellent play. And immediately after he makes that high IQ play, he makes a boneheaded play by once again blitzing my man when I had everything under control. My man is number 7 right here. For whatever reason, he leaves 92 to blitz number 7. Now, I wanted to see if he wanted to just flash and go back to his man, but he entered into a ride animation, so I had to go back to the corner to cover for his mistake. He leaves number 7. And then number 7 just takes an easy pull-up jumper, and these are the things that drive me crazy, man. As you can see, I have sharp take at this point. 2 defenders are concerned with me pressing up with me, and I make the simple play because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about winning in this game. But at this point, man, it doesn't matter. We get 1 stop, we're gonna get that win. Great defensive read by my teammate to block that shot. They get the offensive rebound, and at this point, they're trying to see what they can find. Screen and roll. Now he attacks me very well on that closeout, takes a bad floater. That was a bad floater. And then what makes it worse is they fouled the AI. Now the bot is the bot. It is what it is. He's gonna make these 2 free throws easy. And at this point, I'm like, man, we pulled it off. We were down by 25. We held them to 13 points in the half after they were flopping around, doing all sorts of taunts. I was feeling good about our chances right here. But of course, it's too good to be true. Take a look at this possession right here. For whatever reason, we got one guy floating around on defense, not knowing what he's doing. So I have to cushion a little bit, and for whatever reason, we ended up giving up an open 3 to the guy that we didn't want to get an open 3. So this guy right here, number 35, who has take, is supposed to be defending the inbounder, right? And these are the decisions that you make that will cost you the game, because take a look. He's floating around on defense. He should be guarding number 92, but instead he wants to blitz number 66. He abandons that midway. Our center has to cover the man in the corner, which he left, and now nobody's guarding the screen setter. And so he makes that realization right there that he's supposed to be guarding the screen setter. I thought the guy was going to slip, so I had to go to the middle to cover his ass. And because of that, after that pass, it caused a closeout. He attacked the closeout, and for whatever reason, our guy in the headband right there got stuck in the screen when the left side of the floor was the open spot in the floor. But regardless, we had 1 possession left, 5 seconds left. I had the right side of the floor wide open. The spin jumper was money, but all of a sudden, some guy from the weak side, from the strong side, helps out and blocks my shot. So I wanted to see why that was possible. Okay, number 35, who's ball hungry all game, has take, but instead of showing up for the ball, he goes to the corner. So what do? I have to flash to the middle to get to the ball. My teammate sets staggered screens. 35 goes and does his job, goes to the corner to space the floor. I'm already initiating my offense right here. The right side of the floor is open. I got him to commit to closing out right. Look at that, man down, hand down, man down. That would have been an easy 2 points for me. A shot I take and make all the time. But all of a sudden, number 35's man flies out from the side and blocks my shot. And if you're wondering how that's possible, we'll take a look. As I attack to the right side of the floor and initiate my spin gather, number 35 brought his defender once again towards me, putting his help defense in position to defend that shot. And that's the game. So I legitimately have a question for you guys. If you made it to this part of the video, who was in the wrong here? Now, this guy had takeover, but as you can see from the previous clips prior to this possession, he was making bad decisions. I really believe that if he didn't take his man towards me, number 66 and the other guy cushioning me had their hands down. This was an open shot, a 6% contested shot at worst. Instead, number 35 brings his defender towards me, and that was the only way that I could get blocked. If he stayed in the corner and his man tried to help on me, that would have been an easy pass to the corner and we would have made that shot and won the game. So I think overall the lesson here is be a good teammate, space the floor, make the right basketball reads, don't force some dumb stuff on offense and defense, and play the right way for yourself and for your teammates and put yourself in a position to win.